Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Trying something new today, and I'm streaming to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Hello, Matt. You're here. How's it going, man? Can you hear me? Okay. I didn't test my levels before signing on today. It's working. All right, cool. I think there's probably I know there's a little bit of a delay in the chat messages normally, but it might be even worse with this thing. So I'll do my best to stay tuned and check it out. So cool. Well, thanks for joining. Let's see, what are we going to work on today? Make sure everything is working properly here. Cool. So I was working on building a new level on Friday called the Range A level. And I can kind of show a little bit of it here. It still needs a lot of work. It's just blocked in a little bit with some really bright colors. You can kind of see a sense of it here, but the idea is that you're playing a battle on the back of like a large bird. Let me do a couple of things real quick. So since I'm streaming, I I found that it's better if I lower the frame rate of the game, which Matt, I know you won't be able to tell. But if I lower it to 30 frames a second, it gives my machine a lot more bandwidth to stream. So let's try that. And let's increase the scale. So there's a few issues with the level. The colors are too much. Like you can't see the goal zones at all. Also, I don't think it quite looks like the bird that I want it to yet. So it just visually needs a bit of work. There's also a bug with spawning the ball in the right location. So we have a number of things we can tackle. I think actually getting it to look good and look like a bird is probably something I'll need to do offline, because I'm not like an expert at 3D modeling or anything yet, and yeah, it's probably going to be some like boring trial and error. But there's some other things that we can do. So let me pause the game here for a second. So one thing for sure that we could do is I actually saw a blue jay over the weekend that flew into our apple tree. It was really pretty. And its tail was pretty long and skinny. And so I think that I want to increase the length of the tail a little bit down here, which is kind of difficult with how I have my level editor set up right now. And then the other thing that like a viewer, I'm not sure if they're here today, but somebody's been watching a lot of my streams and sort of gave me some feedback of like, how can you encourage the player to use the whole area? And what I kind of thought of was that it would be cool if the ball sort of spawns up here on the beak, and then maybe all of the players actually start down here at the end of the tail. So you're kind of like everybody's going to be kind of like moving to the ball and battling each other. And then once you get to the ball, then you have to come back out to the body and go to the one goal zone over here or the other goal zone over here. So I think we'll work on some of those things today, if that sounds cool to you. If there's something else that you're interested in seeing, especially you, Matt, since you haven't tuned into any of this, let me know and I'm happy to show you. Also, real quick, how's the level of the background music? Let me know I listened to my live stream from Friday and it was way too loud. So it should just be kind of settling back on, hopefully. Let me know what you think. All right, let's dig in. So first thing is there was a bug. Let me start this over again. I want the ball to show up on the beak when it first kind of launches. And right now it shows up at 0, 0, which is the center of the level. And after somebody scores a point, the ball actually is respawning on the beak properly. So let me find. Let's fix that issue first. So there's something called tile with football as part of the game state, and I need to just find where that is set for the initial spawning. So the setup next play, this should do it. Oh, you know what? I bet is happening. I think I already know what's happening. Where all do I call this? I'm just going to put in a log message if this is null. Because the spawn tile that I set up here, it's not actually set until we set up the field. There's kind of like an initialization step. And so I probably just have an issue where I'm calling this get center tile before that's actually been called. Matt, you're gonna be my log sign today. Need Unity Engine. You'll be in and out. Yeah, cool. You can't hear the game. Oh, there's no audio from the game at the moment. And I don't have any music coming from the game. I have that turned off right now. So it should just be like some sound effects every once in a while. As long as like I've got some like Metroid remixes playing in the background. So as long as you can kind of hear that very subtly beneath my voice, then that's good. Hey, why did it work? I didn't change anything. The ball's in the right. I literally didn't change anything, but the ball's in the right spot. What? The heck? What happened? What? Okay. Why is that working? Oh my gosh. If I comment out this log message and it goes back to being broken, I am gonna have a rough week of development. Jeez Louise. What? Okay, what is happening? Oh, let's see. Field state. I am at a complete loss. Oh, maybe this. Hang on. Let's put the log back in. Okay. It's almost acting like there's a side effect of calling field on field state, but it just goes in here to this getter, so that's not doing anything. And then if I call get center tile here, this isn't doing anything. I do get tile. Oh, this calls into tiles. Aha, there it is. Okay, that's why. So it's sort of bootstrapping itself. This is the call that needs to happen before I call the custom spawn tile. So, okay, so this makes sense. So that's pretty gross. I guess if that's the case, this should just work. So if I do get center tile, oh, it's because I see. It's only introducing this this condition because of how this works. So how do I want to fix this? Like just calling it twice basically makes it work. Because as soon as I index into tiles, then it's going to be set up. I guess since it's private, like, or this is like inside the implementation, I can just kind of trigger it here. Do I call this anywhere else to have a pattern for this? Validate, that's only called at design time. Hmm. I don't like to duplicate this code, but I might have to. The other thing I could do is not have this be set up as part of the spawning here, or like the initialization. Maybe what I should do is that'll probably introduce other bugs. Never mind. I'm not even going to finish that thought. Let's just leave. I don't know if this is even necessarily something I want to keep, so I'm just going to do the slightly gross thing here. Let me at least refactor this into a method. We're just going to call this setup if needed. Setup from flat tile list if needed. Just move this down here to the sort of bottom. Okay, and then get center tile. Then we can just call this setup from flat tile list if needed. It's at least all in one spot. That way we guarantee that it's ran through its initialization before it calls a custom spawn tile. So this should fix it without the special mat log. Cool. So that's one part. And then yeah, so initially I thought like maybe we'll have half of each of the team, like one half up front. Oh wow, that's kind of cool. and then like one half of each team on the head and one half of each team on the tail. Let me kind of watch these guys for a second and see how this plays out. But they were able to score really quick. I think that was mostly because the ball was already in the center of the bird. Oh, I know why you couldn't hear the audio. Every time I start the stream, and actually even sometimes when I'm not streaming, there's a bug in Unity where it will slow down like all of the sound effects and all of the music. And the only way I can figure out how to fix it is to restart Unity. Should still be pretty quiet. Let me speed this up. Cool. This is kind of interesting. Oh. The striker didn't survive very long. He's in the medical tent. He'll be back after the next point. Yeah, so I guess as is, this is creating some, at least somewhat interesting gameplay, and they're using a good chunk of the field. I could maybe even move the goal zones back a little bit. I have to take a look. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It forces you to use the, like some of the ball movement abilities to get the ball off of the beak, it looks like, because you can kind of get trapped back there. Yeah, this is looking good. Okay. Okay. What's next? So I think it could be even bigger, potentially. So let me open up the level editor. So we could stretch the tail out a little bit more and kind of taper it down, maybe? I think the colors is a bigger issue. And I'll texture it so that it's, you know, it'll be like, have like a pixelated texture on it. But you can't see where the goal zones are at all. And I think, so the idea is it's called a rain J, so it's going to be constantly raining underneath it. Actually, let me show you. Can I do this? Let's see. So let me show you one other thing real quick, which is the adventure mode, where it's sort of like the world map slash level selection screen. This is basically where you'll traverse around and oh, I think my computer's chugging. It's struggling with the stream. Uh-oh. What's happening? Okay, I think it's kind of working. Have I recovered? Okay, anyway, so this is like the world map. And up here is actually that range A level, and all this gray stuff is going to go away. But the idea is that this bird is kind of flying up here, and it's constantly raining, and so that's where like all the water in this river and down to this lagoon is coming from. So I don't think the bird itself has to be super colorful. In fact, I think that's a bad thing. And I think I'll like do some stuff in the background and underneath with effects to make it look like there's sort of like a rainbow underneath it. Okay, I'm gonna try loading up the level editor again. And I want to calm down some of the, let's see, let's calm down some of the colors first so it's just easier to work with. I thought this would be fun to start, and it is eye-catching, but it's just not super helpful. So I think to make it look kind of like a blue jay, we need mostly blues, whites, and a little black. All the gray is going to go away. Orange, am I using orange anywhere? Oh, I'm not even using orange. The other thing I might need to do, I might need to add some more buttons down here to help with some things, so I could work on that as well. But let's pick some more blue colors. Maybe white. Something like that looks a little better already. They have sort of a black like outline around their neck. Or like a black ring around their neck. So let's change that, give it like a little. Okay, I think that looks a little bit nicer. Oh, the stream looks like it's really far behind. All right, what else? Let's see. That black outline doesn't actually look very good. So again, this is all just placeholder colors for now. But its head also isn't like quite curvy enough. All right, the next thing that I might want to do, yeah, is extend that tail. So to do that, I've never done anything like this before. I have a couple of options. So this whole editor kind of works on the concept of there being, I forget what it is. It's like, how many is this across? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 20 by 20. So there's 400 potential tiles. And so in the level editor, I basically just create all of them at once. And then you can kind of turn off the ones that you don't need. But since I built this out sort of around the, this center point, but I want to extend it down this way. It would be nice if I had a feature that let me kind of push all the tiles up and to the right. So I could do that. Better with a lighter white. And that would be like kind of a tricky problem to solve. So let's maybe try it. Yeah, there's a couple ways I could do it. I could either just add more rows coming down this way. 1, 2, 3. But I think what might be better is a button where I can like offset the indexes and actually like translate it. So let's try it. So where are my buttons? This code is a mess. Let me do another one of these. Maybe down at the bottom. And let's call this transform, tile transform maybe. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, and then instead of these guys, let me just do like a GUI button. I only need one right now, but so like translate positive X, current field forge, translate X positive. Okay, so now what do I need to do here? I need to basically loop through all the tiles. And then rebuild the dictionary. Can I actually modify the index? Oh yeah, I can. This might be really easy. I'm not sure. I know that's gonna have to come at the end. Do I have a list of tiles anywhere? I have a tile forge cache. I think that's where I get the tiles from. So let's just iterate through all the values. Let's call this tile forge. Let's get the tile. Tile forge.tile, tile.x plus equals 1 if tile dot it. Whoa. Man, the autocomplete sometimes. Is it in a 1D array or a 2D array? Yes. The structure of the tiles is, yeah, it's stored in a few different formats depending on where it is. So this is just a cache. At this level, this field forge thing is a mono behavior, and it references a bunch of mono behaviors. But there's sort of a one-to-one between mono behavior and model. So I did a bunch of work, and I still kind of do a bunch of work that I maybe don't have to do because I'm trying to like have some of the underlying, at least like model layer and other things about that are more like generally part of a tactics game or a strategy game be removed from Unity, or like independent from Unity, decoupled. That's the word I'm looking for. Uh, and so part of there's sort of a still an artifact of that where I have some duplication, and this is one of the places where I have that. Yeah, so here it's in a cache, but then like in the actual field storage, I can show you this. There's something called a flat tile list, and that's just for serialization. So I serialize the flat list right here, and then when I read it back in, then I have all the indexes stored on the tile itself. And I'm not sure if you were here at the beginning of the feed, but I had a bug in this that was related to like having the football show up on the beak of the bird. So this setup from flat tile list also puts it into a dictionary, so I can index into here using a three-dimensional index of XYZ for any tile. That way I get the constant access that you would normally get from like a 2D or a 3D array or whatever. Hope that answers your question. Thanks for joining again, Digital Workbench. Appreciate having you here. Hope you had a good weekend. All right, where was I? I was working on this thing. Okay, yeah, so I want to translate everything. And then do I have a max? I have a max half depth. And max half width. Okay, so I think if it goes greater than that, then I actually am thinking I'll just wrap it around to the other side. Once again, I'm just going to do X positive for now. And then let's see what happens if I do rebuild tile. Refreshes the texture. Oh, and that just clears that. Oh, I'm indexing into myself. Oh, that's just the tile forge cache. Oh, good. That passes back into the index. This might actually just work. Let's see what this does. I saved my progress on the bird, so and as long as I don't save again, then it won't be destructive. Okay. Oh, you know what? Here's another thing. I would like to figure out how to turn this window into a giant scroll view. Begin scroll view. Let me just look up a quick example. Oh, I see. I feed it back into itself. So it looks pretty simple. Let's just try this out. There's just a vector 2 that we have to sort of maintain and update. So I'll put it here. Oh, I guess I need another Boolean for the tile transform expanded. And then scroll position. Let me get rid of that other boolean I set up down here. And then where's the start of all my stuff? Okay, editor GUI layout. Dot begin scroll view. Scroll position. I need to reset it here. Then at the very end, just end it. Haha, we've got scrolling. That was way simpler than I thought it would be. So now if I do translate plus X, what's going to happen? Nothing. Hmm. Let me look at a couple of other things. Yeah, that generates an index every time. It might be working, but it's just not updating the visuals. What happens on load here? Yeah, I think I need to refresh. Oh, that's a good way to do it. Iterate through. Let me do this a little differently. Oh, that's actually okay. Here, let me just try this. I thought I might need to do two loops. All right, let's see what this does. Yeah, exactly, like a rebuild. Yeah, I have a refresh call. Let me actually make sure my code is running. I might need this first, actually. Actually, I'm not sure if I do or not. Here, change both at once here and just see. Yeah, okay, so that's been called. Reload. And nothing yet. This code definitely has cobwebs, and I haven't worked in this code in a while. What do I do on load? So let's see, clear. And I refresh with the tile. Maybe I need to call it right away with the updated tile. I'll try it. Interesting. Field is valid. What do I do when a property changes? Refresh target tiles. Fresh get tile. I think, oh, you know what? Nothing is going to update their position based on the index. So I think my thinking for this is wrong. I think what I need to do is for each tile, like get the field. Yeah, I think you're on. Yeah, I think you're onto something. A mismatch between the dictionary key and the position. I don't think I ever update the position based on anything. Let me triple check that. Where do I set their position? Is it part of this? Oh yeah, it is. Tile.representation location. Oh, that should be working since I'm modifying the X. Let me see if I'm actually getting in here. I wonder if maybe this is empty for some reason when I'm calling it. Should get a bunch of logs down here when I run it now. I'm not getting any. Okay, that's what's happening. So let me do this. Let's go to where we like load the field. Why is that empty? I think I need to index into this. Where all do I reference this? Is that going to find references for this? No, okay. TileForge. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, if you, I'll be back for, or I'll be here for about another hour or so, hopefully. So hopefully it'll be fixed by the time you're back. Should be cool. We'll see the bird fly across the screen. Yeah, I think I need sort of like this logic. Yeah, let's try this. I think this is actually going to work. Haha, it worked. He went up like twice. And if I keep doing this, he should wrap back around. Now I've just created a pixel animating, like the world's most complicated pixel animator. All right, it works. That's pretty funny. Okay, let's put his beak right there. And then let's taper this tail down a little bit down here. What color is that? It looks like it's 3. Let's see. Don't want it to be 3 wide all the way down. Oh, and you know what? There's like an extra layer of height because of this. So like this beak is not actually going down all the way either. But I think what I want is for this height to be actually like 0 slope height. Is that 3? No, 2. Something kind of like that. Hmm. It looks kind of okay like that. It looks weird. It just kind of looks like a ramp or a bridge, like at a playground or something. Definitely doesn't look like a tail. Could just make it like a ramp coming down, but I think part of the issue is that I think that these need to be just not part of the level. It's not right either. These three are definitely too high. There, something like that I think is more right. That looks better. Those little red dots mean you can't navigate there, like navigation is blocked. So let me get rid of that, as opposed to these. Oh yeah, there's a couple other things I should do real quick. All right, first let me save this and reload it and make sure, yeah, cool, that's working. Oh, at least I think. Yeah. So let me do a couple of things. There was something on, like in the debug view, I wanted to have like player 1 and player 2 be a little bit more clear. So we'll do color dot red and color dot blue for that. See if that looks a little bit better so you can tell the difference. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And then I want to be able to select anything that is like, well, a couple things. I want to be able to select all of the tiles that have the same color, and I want to be able to select all the tiles that are blocked with navigation in this case. So that's like another tool down here. But for now, let me do, let's see how many tiles are down here. There's 3, 4. I want to move like these starting tiles down here. No, formation player 2. Like that. Thanks, Matt. I know sometimes I don't, not sometimes, often I also have no idea what's going on. That seems like a large part of the process. Whoops. So let me, did I save this? Let me go back to this and close this tab. Is my inspector broken? No, it's not. Awesome. Let me set up a little match here. Oh, whoops. Yeah, so now everybody starts here down on the tail. And like, you kind of start duking it out while you try to go get the ball. All right, I need just a super quick break. I'm gonna let these guys keep duking it out. In just a second. Okay, I'll be right back. Let's see who wins.